What's it like to walk into a place where the very air feels thick with untold stories? In my 60-some years, I've wandered down plenty of roads paved with promise. Others rough with regret, but none quite like the uneven, sun-baked trail to Natpurwa, a village tucked in Uttar Pradesh, India. This isn't the India of glossy travel brochures, with its golden temples or bustling spice bazaars. No, this is a corner of the world where life moves to a different beat, one of survival, stigma, and secrets that linger like dust in the wind. In this travel documentary, we're diving headfirst into Natpurwa, often called India's prostitution village. That name alone carries the weight of a legacy etched into the mud brick homes and the lives of its people. The culture of Natpurwa is raw, unpolished, shaped by centuries of hardship and defiance. As we tread these streets, you'll witness daily life in Natpurwa. Women in vibrant saris sharing laughter under dim lanterns, children chasing fleeting dreams in the dirt. And a community caught in a tug-of-war between pride and despair. This isn't just a travelogue, it's a journey into a hidden world. Are you ready to see what lies beyond the veil? A village forged in shadows. How does a single village become a symbol of something as ancient and complex as sex work? Natpurwa's story begins over 200 years ago, rooted in India's rigid caste system and the whims of colonial power. By the 1800s, British soldiers roamed these parts, and women from marginalized castes, often with no other means, were drawn into prostitution. Today, an estimated 5,000 women in Natpurwa rely on this trade to feed their families, in a region where poverty is a relentless shadow. The cost of living in Natpurwa is starkly low. Basic meals of dal and rice cost less than $1 a day, and a month's rent for a mud brick home runs about $10. But the emotional price? That's a debt no one can tally. In this travel documentary, we unravel how Natpurwa became a microcosm of India's contradictions. The people of Natpurwa live in a strange paradox. Shunned by outsiders yet essential to the region's underbelly. Their homes, simple and often without electricity, pulse with life. Women adorn themselves with bangles and kohl, not just for clients, but to hold on to dignity. The culture of Natpurwa is one of resilience, where survival is both craft and creed. Yet beneath the surface, there's a quiet yearning for something beyond these walls. Before we sink deeper into Natpurwa's shadows, let me take a quick moment. If this travel documentary is pulling you in, do me a favor, smack that like button. Drop a comment with what's hitting you so far, and hit subscribe to keep these stories coming. Your support fuels this channel, letting us unearth more hidden gems of the world. From forgotten villages like Natpurwa to vibrant cities pulsing with life, what's striking you most? The resilience of these women? The weight of stigma? Share it below, your voice matters. Subscribing ensures you won't miss the next leg of this journey or others we'll take together. Alright, enough of that, let's get back to Natpurwa, where every corner holds a story begging to be told. The women who hold it together. Can you picture a life where your path was chosen before you took your first breath? In Natpurwa, that's the reality for countless women. Sex work here isn't just a job, it's a tradition. Handed down from mother to daughter like a heavy, bittersweet heirloom. Roughly 70% of women in the village enter the trade by their late teens, often to support siblings, parents, or their own children. The daily life in Natpurwa follows a rhythm tied to this work. Mornings are for cooking, cleaning, and caring for kids. while afternoons shift to preparing for clients who arrive as the sun dips low. These women aren't shadows or stereotypes. They're the backbone of this place. In this travel documentary, we meet them as people, not just as their work. Take Mina, a 40-year-old who earns $2 to $5 per client, enough to send her son to a school 20 miles away. Others face darker realities: violence, debt to local pimps, or health risks like HIV, which affects about 5% of the region's sex workers. Yet there's pride here, fierce and unyielding. The culture of Nat Purwa celebrates their strength during festivals like Diwali. They light oil lamps, share sweets, and claim joy despite the world's judgment. But the stigma is a constant shadow, and the ache for a different life is never far. The men who fuel the cycle. Who are the men who keep Nat Purwa's fragile economy alive? They come from nearby towns: truck drivers, laborers, shopkeepers slipping into the village under cover of night. In 2023, local estimates pegged over 10,000 clients visiting monthly, each transaction a thread in the village's economic web. These men aren't just customers. They're part of a complex dance, both social and financial. Some form long-term ties, offering gifts, money, or protection. Others bring danger, violence, disease, or exploitation. HIV rates in the area, as I mentioned, run around 5%, notably higher than India's national average of 0.2%. We don't sugarcoat the truth. The people of Nat Purwa navigate this reality with a mix of grit and pragmatism. Local men play roles too. Some act as middlemen, taking a cut of earnings, while others are husbands who accept their wives' work as a fact of life. The cost of living in Nat Purwa may be dirt cheap, but the social cost is a heavy burden. There's no judgment here, just observation. The village thrives on these exchanges, and to understand it, you have to see the whole picture: the good, the bad, and the messy in between. Children caught in the crosshairs. What's it like to grow up in a place where your mother's work is both a lifeline and a secret? The children of Nat Purwa are the village's heartbeat, their laughter and energy cutting through the weight of adult struggles. Around 2,000 kids live here, many attending a small school funded by NGOs like Save the Children. Education is their way out, but it's a steep climb. Only about 20% finish high school, and the pull of the village's legacy is strong. In this travel documentary, we linger on their stories. There's 12-year-old Ravi, who dreams of becoming a doctor, scribbling biology notes by lantern light. There are girls who know the trade looms unless they break free. The daily life in Nat Purwa for these kids mixes play with responsibility, fetching water, cleaning homes, or helping younger siblings. The culture of Nat Purwa is protective yet pragmatic. Mothers shield their children from clients but teach them early about survival. Hidden gems of Nat Purwa shine through in these moments. A child's colorful drawing on a mud wall, a makeshift cricket game in a dusty field. But their innocence is fragile, caught between poverty and the weight of expectation. You can't help but root for them, even as you see the odds stacked high. The stigma that binds. Why does a place like Nat Purwa still exist in a world that loves to tout progress? The answer lies in India's contradictions, gleaming tech hubs beside grinding poverty. Modern ideals clashing with ancient traditions. Natpurwa's women face scorn from nearby towns, their village a whispered scandal. Yet their work sustains entire families, even communities. A 2022 government survey found 80% of sex workers in Uttar Pradesh wanted alternative jobs but lacked access to training or opportunities. Life in Natpurwa is a tightrope walk between necessity and judgment. We don't just show the struggle, we ask you to feel it. Imagine being both ostracized and indispensable, your home a place of refuge and rejection. The people of Natpurwa carry this with quiet defiance, hosting their own festivals, running tiny shops, building a community that refuses to crumble. Hidden gems of Natpurwa emerge in their resilience, women sharing tea under a banyan tree, men debating politics in the evening cool. But change is slow. NGOs offer sewing classes or microloans. But systemic barriers, caste, illiteracy, and corruption keep the cycle spinning. You leave wondering, how long can this dance of survival go on? The slow fight for change. Is there hope for a village so tethered to its past? Natpurwa isn't stuck in time. It's clawing its way forward, one step at a time. Over the past decade, NGOs like Gozi and local activists have poured resources into changing schools, health clinics, even voter ID drives to give women a political voice. In 2024, 300 women joined a cooperative, crafting jewelry and textiles sold to tourists and online markets. Earnings are modest $50 to $100 a month, but it's a lifeline. In this travel documentary, we spotlight these efforts, showing a village at a turning point. The daily life in Natpurwa now includes these sparks of rebellion. Women learning to read at 40, refusing clients without condoms, demanding respect from local officials. The culture of Natpurwa is shifting, but it's a grueling fight. Local landlords and pimps push back, and societal scorn doesn't fade easily. Yet the people of Natpurwa are stubborn as hell. They've survived centuries of hardship. They'll survive this too. Watching them, you feel a mix of awe and frustration. How can a place so vibrant be so trapped? The answer's messy. But the fight is real, and it's far from over. The outsiders who come and go. Who else shapes the life of this village, beyond its residents and clients? Natpurwa isn't an island. It's touched by outsiders, NGO workers, journalists, even curious travelers like me. Each brings something, whether it's aid, attention, or judgment. In 2023, over 50 NGOs operated in the region, offering everything from health screenings to vocational training. But their presence is a double-edged sword. Some bring real change, others bureaucratic red tape or fleeting promises. Then there are the reporters, snapping photos and writing stories that often lean on sensationalism. In this travel documentary, we try to do better, to show the people of Natpurwa as they are, not as headlines. The culture of Natpurwa absorbs these outsiders warily. Trust is hard-earned here. A local woman, Kamla, told me she's tired of saviors who leave when the funding dries up. The cost of living in Natpurwa may draw do-gooders, but the cost of truly understanding it is steeper. Hidden gems of Natpurwa lie in its quiet defiance of these fleeting visitors, the way women keep weaving their lives, their stories, their hopes, no matter who comes or goes. It's a lesson in resilience that humbles you. the rituals that bind. What holds a community together when the world seems hell-bent on tearing it apart? In Nat Perwa, the rituals are small, stubborn acts of faith and togetherness. Festivals like Holi and Diwali transform the village into a riot of color and sound, with women splashing powders, lighting lamps, and dancing to old Bollywood tunes. These aren't just celebrations. They're defiance, a way to claim joy in a life that offers little. The daily life in Nat Perwa weaves these rituals into its fabric, morning prayers at tiny shrines, evening gatherings where stories are swapped over chai. We linger on these moments where the culture of Nat Perwa shines brightest. A 2021 study noted that 90% of Nat Perwa's residents identify as Hindu, and their faith, however simple, is a lifeline. The people of Nat Perwa pray for health, for their kids' futures, for a day when the village isn't defined by its work. Hidden gems of Nat Perwa emerge here. A grandmother teaching her granddaughter a prayer, a group of women singing by firelight. These rituals aren't just tradition. They're armor, worn against a world that often looks away. A place that stays with you. How do you walk away from a place like Nat Perwa without it carving a piece of you? As I left, the village's colors, sari swaying in the breeze, lanterns flickering against the night, stayed burned in my mind. But so did its shadows, the weight of lives lived on the edge. This isn't just a story about sex work, it's about humanity. About people building lives in the cracks of a world that forgets them. The life in Nat Perwa is both singular and universal, a reminder that every community, no matter how hidden, has its own pulse. In this travel documentary, we've seen the cost of living in Nat Perwa not just in rupees, but in dreams deferred, in battles fought against odds most of us can't imagine. The hidden gems of Nat Perwa are its people, their laughter, their grit, their refusal to be reduced to their work. I've seen a lot in my years, and I'll tell you, places like this make you question what progress really means. The modern world loves its skyscrapers and startups, but it's in villages like Nat Perwa where the real stories live. So, what's your take? Does Nat Perwa's story move you, anger you, inspire you? Drop your thoughts below, and let's keep this journey alive together.